Now she's just stuck with this depressed ginger who has absolutely no family, no friends, and no money. This was not hashtag part of the plan. So what is she supposed to do now? Now, if she's smart, and she is that, she's very savvy, she will find a way to bounce past him to some other taker who might actually just love the guy. She will take her royal kids who can still go by prince and princess and find the billionaire, like you say, who actually will just keep her in the manner to which she'd like to become accustomed. But as you point out, it gets trickier because these billionaires can sense one thing. When you're not looking for a partner, you're looking for a solution.
Developing today, Megyn Kelly has weighed in on Meghan Markle's failed plan to bag a billionaire as her marriage to Prince Harry becomes more unhappy by the day. We're going to get the best analysis of these new revelations from royal YouTube sensation P-Dina in just one moment. But here's what my friend Megyn Kelly, who remember has been across the story right from the start, had to say on Link Lauren's new podcast.
Who's also been beaten down into a shell. We have to move on to Prince Harry, the Duke of White Castle, the Duke of Waffle House. He and Meghan Markle, the wannabe Duchess, okay, the Duchess of Sun Damage, she's back in the news today because there's some new articles out. I just wanted to run through some of them quickly because we had a real deep top of the show with the horrific violence yesterday in Boulder. We just wanted to have some fun with you and discuss Harry and Meghan. So there's this article that came out that Meghan Markle really did expect Harry to be a billionaire when she met him. She was incredibly disappointed to find out he's only worth a couple million, and she's going to have to actually work and hawk these jams and jellies and dog biscuits to have the lifestyle that she wants. I personally think, and I'd love to get your take on this, I think Meghan would leave Harry in a second if a billionaire would scoop her up. I think she'd be in divorce court tomorrow if like an Elon wanted to take her out. But I don't think a lot of billionaires want a 45, 46-year-old duchess with multiple marriages and all that baggage. Megyn, what do you think?
I completely agree. And by the way, she's already gotten the benefit of her bargain with Harry because she got the title. That's what she wanted. She wanted to be world famous. She wanted the title. You remember when Harry was single, he was the elephant. That he was the one, the most eligible bachelor on earth. You could be a royal, you could become world famous overnight, you could live in a castle, you could have access to the crown jewels, you would be a princess. My God, yes, he could have had his pick, except for the people who weren't PR whores. Because like his prior girlfriends broke up with him, at least the last two reportedly, because they did not want this lifestyle. They actually didn't want to be famous. They wanted like a normal life where they could just fall in love for real and raise a family. But this woman is nothing but a publicity whore. It's a term of art. And we broke the news that she had Prince Harry on her vision board when she was younger. And that was her goal, hashtag goal, to marry Prince Harry. So it was all about getting the title. She's done that now. Now she's just stuck with this depressed ginger who has absolutely no family, no friends, and no money. This was not hashtag part of the plan. So what is she supposed to do now? Now, if she's smart, and she is that, she's very savvy, she will find a way to bounce past him to some other taker who might actually just love the guy. She will take her royal kids who can still go by prince and princess and find the billionaire, like you say, who actually will just keep her in the manner to which she'd like to become accustomed. But as you point out, it gets trickier because these billionaires can sense one thing. When you're not looking for a partner, you're looking for a solution. And that's obviously the lane that Meghan Markle's in now.
Fascinating analysis and insight there from Megyn Kelly, P-Dina. But actually, this is something that I have heard for some time. Meghan Markle is always attempting to, shall we say, build relationships with very, very, very rich men. There's something, P-Dina, in her strategy of Jackie O. Jackie Kennedy after the assassination of JFK. But that's the key point, right? Jackie O was looking for her billionaire because her husband had been assassinated in the most brutal circumstances. Harry's still around.
Yeah, Harry is still around, and Meghan don't care. She don't care. Like, it's all about Meghan, and she's going to keep doing. I mean, she flirts openly with other men. Like I remember when she was at that tennis match and she was looked like she was flirting with Serena Williams' husband, like with her skirt and just how she just looks at men. I mean, Harry, it doesn't matter what, if he's there, that she's still married. I mean, this woman's going to keep trying to get elevated with the next man because that's what she wants. Because, Harry at this point doesn't even have enough money for her. And so she needs to find the man that's going to really give her what she wants financially. So Megyn, yeah, she is just. I tell you this, we just watch her and just like, okay, what you gonna do now, girl? What you gonna do? Yeah, you gonna try now. Okay, let's see who it's going to be. I mean, I know she's spending a lot of time now around at Ted Sarandos, calling her a rock star. Maybe, I don't know, but it doesn't look good that Megyn doesn't seem to be content with the broke millionaire that she has. So we know she's trying to find the next thing. Yeah.
I know it's absolutely fascinating, isn't it? It really, really is fascinating. I think there are definitely a few that she has her eye on, put it that way. And of course, how she can get around this P-Dina with Harry, because let's be honest, we know Harry is not the smartest tool in the shed, is just like, yeah, of course I'm meeting up with X because we need to talk business, we need money, we've got this lifestyle, we need these private jets, etc., etc., etc.
hmm Yeah. I mean, I think she gets a lot of flack with Harry because of the messaging around conservation and trying to be eco-friendly and all of that. So she just wants to not have to worry about the backlash, worry about paying for the next private jet or, people talking about her taking a private jet. She wants to be open with her luxury of doing whatever she wants to do with this billionaire man that she's seeking because that's her mindset. Her mindset wants to put her in the lap of luxury. It doesn't care. She doesn't care about, just the messaging of what Harry is trying to do or what, the brand that they were trying to build together. It's all about the independence to do what she wants. And a billionaire husband will afford her things that she can't have with someone like Harry. So it just makes sense that she would want to be with a billionaire because Harry just can't give her anything else anymore. He served his purpose. His purpose is over and they're no longer aligned in purpose. So it's for her, it's time to move on. Absolutely. And we'll be seeing that too. Watch.
Indeed. And the problem is, of course, P-Dina, that as Megyn Kelly then goes to point out, the finances are increasingly rocky. And what Megyn Kelly honed in on, and I think this was incredibly smart, was this idea that actually the Netflix deal isn't really real. Like, it's there for PR, it's there because it's face saving for Meghan Markle, but the deal that was, which was the mega bucks, the private jet money, is simply not there anymore. Watch this.
Money. This whole Netflix thing is just a ruse. We all know this is made up just to give her something to do. Her miraculous renewal for her second season, which was already shot in full by the time the first season was done, meaning they just made some extra episodes and decided to roll out a fake second season as a PR plan, hasn't fooled anybody. Now they're saying they're not even sure if she's going to make more jam. That thing's already dwindling on the vine. Everything she touches turns to shit. And I think every, sort of creative person behind her or deep pocket behind her knows it's an extraordinary risk. She's too toxic to touch.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So speaking of the reality show, the cooking show, I saw the same story. She's already tired of selling the jams and jellies. She's like, well, we might restock in 2026. I think there's no demand. I also think she's lazy. I don't think she wants to work. She should actually run for Congress as a Democrat like Jasmine Crockett because they don't want to work. They want to twerk and sit around and film videos. So I think she should actually run for office because Meghan Markle, you're lazy.
P-Dina, too toxic to touch. Do you agree with Megyn Kelly's point of view?
Absolutely. I think this is why so many celebrities don't want to be around her because she really is too toxic. I remember when Mindy Kaling came out and even that Jamie Lima, whatever what her name is, she talked about they've never seen anything like this. Like when Megan does something, it makes headlines, it gets a lot of people talking about it. And it's not a good thing. I think, anything that Megan does is going to bring out the negativity of what it is that she has done. She doesn't bring good PR. She doesn't bring money with the looks of talking about what she's doing. She brings things that are not good. And I think Netflix to make point around it's not really a partnership. They've even said themselves it's a passive partnership. Okay, it's not a true partnership, so it's an illusion of them working together. So Megan doesn't really bring concrete uh, like sales. She doesn't bring the concrete branding that's going to elevate things to be more. It's going to bring something negative to it that gives disdain and like, ugh, that's not good. And this is why so many celebrities don't want to be associated with her. That's what she brings. I mean, Netflix is trying something new, but it's not really going to bring her the celebrities, the people that she wants to be associated with. It's toxic, like Megyn Kelly. It's not what she thinks it is. I think Megan is living a life that she's winning and she's doing all these great things, but the reality is not that. The reality is she's a joke. It's embarrassing at this point. It's like, oh my gosh, for real, Megan, you did that? You're gonna keep doing this? I mean, wow. I mean, like I said before, royal family, you should be so thankful this woman wanted to leave because she's not going to bring any good to the branding of royalty. She's gonna downgrade it to a level of ghetto, and that's what it is. This is just bad. It's all bad.
What's hilarious, P-Dina, is that this week we had Meghan snap back because we know everything she does on social media, despite claiming that she doesn't actually look at any of the mainstream legacy media or any of our coverage. Everything she does on social media is always designed to deal with the true stories that we're putting out there. And of course, there has been so much consternation about the Netflix show, what's going on. So Meghan thought this would be such a good moment to show that actually the show was so good. P-Dina, the show was just so damn brilliant, right? That there was a whole load of excellent stuff that just was left on the cutting room floor because they just couldn't choose, from all of these amazing moments. And she was going to give us the privilege, give us the honor of sharing just one of those moments with us to whet our appetite for series 2. And this is what we got.
Pineapple, instead of just cutting it to make the perfect little bite, you follow the wedge. When nature has given you all the cues on how to have a perfect taste of something.
Oh, how fun is that? I love it. It's easy. All right, is it gonna work? Am I good? It's great.
That was it, P-Dina.
Megan, look, girl, people have been doing that for a long time. And that is just, I think it's indicative of what she has extra. Like, there's nothing great around this extra footage. Megan it's so bad how you are just trying to do things that have been done. I mean, I think years ago, like pre-Martha, we've been like, oh, okay. But girl, now we're like, okay, this is a side eye. Come on, Megan. Okay, really? That's your extra footage? Okay.
I know, that's it. That's
it.
I love that. I love that. And so Megyn Kelly's take on this was like, this is why you listen to your producers, okay? There was a reason that was left on the cutting room floor. Watch.
Is being paid millions of dollars to show how to cut into a pineapple. Also, I thought the pineapple was the international symbol for swingers. I think maybe she was like symbolizing she's down to party, down to have some fun. Are you taking cooking advice from Meghan Markle in the kitchen?
Oh my God. I mean, let me tell you this. Like, first of all, there's a reason that was deleted. She really should go with her producer's instincts. Okay. Second of all, who the hell is sated by one tiny little bite of pineapple? The reason we cut it the way we do is because you eat it almost like a watermelon, or at least half a watermelon slice. It's very sweet, but you want a little more. Just one little bite. That's like having one little handful of popcorn. It's impossible. Nobody wants to do it that way. Once again, proving how unrelatable she is. No, I wouldn't take any of the advice on her show. Maureen, as you know, Callahan and I tried to recreate this thing. And the only thing that was good that she actually did was the one pot pasta, which she very clearly stole word for word from Martha Stewart. And unbeknownst to me, because I don't cook, this is apparently one of Martha Stewart's famous recipes. So she wasn't even clever in her apparent thievery. She just stole it, relabeled it her own, and then tried to act like she'd come up with this cool one-pot chicken thing. After that, it was just taking pretzels from one bag and pouring them into another.
I mean, that's why it's just a disaster, isn't it, P-Dina? Because all of the advice is so ridiculous.
So ridiculous. And this is the show. This is the show you came up with. You left the royal family for. That's what I can't get over. I'm like, oh my goodness, Megyn. It's so pathetic and just disastrous. You were a duchess. You stood next to the Queen of England, and now look at you peddling jam. And that was a choice. That was your choice to do what you're doing now. I can't understand it. Harry, it's so bad. I can't even with this woman. She had so much going for her in terms of opportunity and just being liked by people in general. But you have chosen the most undesirable thing to do. And now you are so hated by the royals, and well, I wouldn't say the royals specifically, but just by the world in general, because of how you treated people. And you did all of that to go do what you're doing now, like with the jam and the show and the showing people these simple things that you've stolen. Okay. Like Megyn has done a full circle that has brought her to nothing. She hasn't elevated herself in any way from where she was. She's downgraded tremendously. And it's we can see that. It's quite amazing how you do this. I mean, there's a lot of stupidity happening with this woman. I'm sorry. This is wrong.
But first, these days we're living through economic whiplash, soaring prices, vanishing savings, and headlines that seem designed to confuse more than inform. We're told this is all normal, that history is being rewritten for our own good, and that embracing these changes is the only path forward. But every outlet tells a different version of reality, and the so-called fact checkers are just enforcing the approved narrative. Luckily, there's a solution. It's ground news, hands down. The easiest way to stay informed, because it cuts through all the bias and spin so you can actually see what's going on and make up your own mind. I have it on my phone and in my bookmarks online because it's just become so essential to my daily life. See for yourself, by the way, at ground.news/outspoken. I've got a big discount coming too. But I want to first show you this incredible website and app in action. So we'll use the breaking story of Donald Trump agreeing to cut tariffs on UK autos, steel and aluminium as part of a trade deal with Britain, one that could reshape global trade and has sparked debate on both sides of the political aisle. So you can see clearly in one place that over 500 sources are covering this story. Ground News instantly shows how the story is being covered by the media, broken down by whether it leans to the left or the right. This is illustrated by its bias distribution chart. And if you scroll down, you can then see every headline about the story, along with the political bias and ownership of the publication. So in this case, most of the coverage is from outlets in the center, but here's where it gets interesting. 49% of the sources come from outlets owned by giant media conglomerates. So no wonder the narratives feel so coordinated. When looking at the headlines, the left covered the story with skepticism, Wired fixated on the struggling reputation of Jaguar and framed the deal as a potential way to resurrect the brand. Bloomberg chose vague language, calling it a framework, which subtly questions whether the deal is even real. But the coverage on the right-leaning outlets was far more confident, with GB News celebrating a major victory for UK auto manufacturers and the New York Sun calling it a full and comprehensive trade deal that strengthens US-UK ties. My favourite feature of Ground News, though, is is the blind spot feed, which surfaces upwards of 20 stories daily that receive the majority of coverage from one side of the political spectrum. If you love the news, like you know I do, the blind spot feed is the best way to get a balanced perspective on what's happening. So go to ground.news/outspoken or scan the QR code on screen to subscribe today. You will get 40% off the same Vantage plan I use for unlimited access. That's ground.news/outspoken. But now, back to the show. Now, things just got worse for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle this week, P-Dina, because Kennedy, who is the popular host on Fox News, Fox Business, now a Daily Mail columnist, reported this: what Meghan's neighbours are all brutally laughing about behind her back, revealed to Kennedy by her Montecito mole. So let me take you through exactly what they're saying, P-Dina. And this was the source, who is close to Meghan. This is according to Kennedy. When the princess thing didn't work out, she reverted to the person she was when Harry found her. She's trying to say she's exceedingly normal, which she isn't. It's all very LA actress. And then Kennedy asked, but what about these plummeting polls and failing ventures? And the source close to Meghan says it's glaringly obvious she doesn't get it. It proves people don't really change. And all along, she just wanted to be an influencer and TV star. Now, P-Dina, we've been saying that for a very long time, of course, because even when she was in the royal family, she was still looking for those types of deals. What's so significant about this, though, is it's one of Meghan's inner circle leaking to Kennedy, who's writing it up for a column in the Daily Mail. I mean, this shows, doesn't it, that Meghan has not only lost control of the narrative, she has also now lost control of her inner circle.
Mhm. Think they actually are emboldened now to come out and
Yes.
say the obvious at this point. So Meghan has been validated in that, yeah, this is what we've always said, and now it's come out and it's official. It's official. Okay, this is what you are doing. We see it, and now we're not afraid to say it. That's what it is, Meghan. And for her, it should be a big wake up call. You would think it would be. But no, I don't think she'll listen to what other people are saying in terms of, how she has appeared to be. I think for her as an actress mindset is to try to overcome and to keep going and keep trying. I think when people like the Obamas and, Oprah and others who are really A-listers, when they start to like go away, I would have been like reevaluating everything. What am I doing wrong? But for Meghan, she doesn't do that. For her, she's in the mindset, okay, let me just keep trying to find that thing that is going to yield me the success that I so desperately desire. But how can she get that success at this point? We know it will never happen. But her mindset is that she's going to keep trying and she'll keep embarrassing herself because something is bound to hit. Maybe she'll meet that millionaire, at this point if she keeps
The
trying.
billionaire is
and
what she really wants, isn't it? That is what she really
Yeah,
wants.
that's really what she wants.
But look, it definitely
Yeah.
felt like this week, P-Dina. You know how there are moments, and sometimes there's moments where the culture starts to shift. And certainly on Meghan Markle, I feel maybe now like the elite class, the celebrity class are catching up on where the public has been for some time on Meghan. And I noticed it in this other moment with Brooke Shields. And remember, Brooke Shields is a household name in America. I mean, this is someone who everyone knows. Everyone knows the name Brooke Shields. And even if she hasn't been necessarily at the forefront of people's minds recently, there's a great respect that comes with an actress like her because of the success of her career in the past. And of course, she is someone who we did acknowledge had been on stage with Meghan Markle alongside Katie Couric at South by Southwest. There was just an assumption amongst all of us, P-Dina, that meant that Brooke Shields was on side, that she was someone who loved Meghan Markle because we'd never heard otherwise until she appeared this week on the India Hicks Substack and unexpected journey, and in a very lovely and funny and unbecoming way. Like, I don't think Brooke Shields set out to say, I'm going to destroy Meghan Markle. But again, this is a part of the culture shifting, because for the first time, she felt emboldened to say what she really thought publicly. And you'll actually see at the top of this clip, P-Dina, she says to India Hicks, oh, you might have to delete this. Like, she knows that she's saying something that probably wouldn't have been said just a matter of months ago. But as I say, there's that change in the culture. Watch this and I'll get your reaction off the back.
Thought that is
Oh
one hell of
my
a
God,
costume.
did I tell you?
No.
Oh God, I don't know if you'll have to cut this out, but you might. I don't know. You'll decide later, okay?
This is the best bit of all.
This is the best bit
Keep
of all.
it in.
So, I don't know if I'm going to get hated, but I get a call from Katie Couric, and she's doing South by Southwest. Big. They're closing the middle arena. We're closing it out. We're the only one. It's thousands of people. It's Katie Couric, Meghan Markle, and a doctor. And Katie asks me to be a part of it. So I was like, oh, okay, all right. You know what? Just do it. Just go talk about what you need to. We get there. Katie asks the first question to Meghan and talks about how, at a young age, she was already advocating for women, et cetera. So she starts talking and telling a story about how when she was 11, and she keeps saying, well, when I was 11, I saw this commercial and they were talking about washing dishes, and only soap for washing dishes was for women. And she said, I didn't think only women wash dishes. It wasn't fair. So I wrote to the company. And when I was 11, I wrote my first letter, and then I was 11. And she kept saying she was 11. So she writes to the company. They changed the text. They changed the commercial. And I go, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I guys, just interrupt you there for 1 minute. I was trying not to be rude, but I wanted to be funny because it was so serious. And I go, I just want to give everybody here a context as to how we're different. I said, well, when I was 11, I was playing a prostitute. The place went insane. And then luckily, it was more relaxed after that. And I was like, oh, I hope she doesn't think I'm rude. I'm not being rude. I was just sort of.
I think it's genius.
It was just too precious. And I was like, they're not going to want to sit here for 45 minutes and listen to anybody be precious, or serious, or
definitely not on this podcast. There's no pressure.
Well, no, but this was in front of. I mean, it was crazy. And then afterwards, she was kind of like, oh, okay. And I was like, let's just have some fun with it, know. But it was.
But Katie
funny.
must have been brilliant because she's a wonderful moderator between the two of you.
She's so great. I mean, she does it in her sleep. I think she's.
P-Dina, quite a moment, right?
Yes, quite a moment. And it's almost like you watch someone who's trying to be there and talk about the same story over and over and over again. And you have to look at what Brooke Shields has been through in her life, her career. I mean, the Netflix documentary on her is really, really good. This woman has been through so much. And to just listen to the stories of, Meghan talking. I mean, she just oozes superficial. Like Meghan, these people they've been through some things, okay? You haven't been through anything. And you're sitting here trying to tell us this same story that we've heard like umpteenth time. Nobody wants to hear your nonsense. Okay, let's get to the real, grit of what is actually going on with women and, things that they've experienced and gone through. And Meghan just recirculates that same story. I don't know why Katie even brought it up, but I just think I'm so glad Brooke did what she did because it just puts into perspective, how different you really are. And look at how successful Brooke has been with her own career. I mean, this woman has gone through so much. Meghan hasn't gone through things. But she wants to treat people like she has gone through some things and just have this attitude about, who she is and the people that she surrounds herself with. She just is not a very authentic person. And people hearing Meghan talk, they can't relate. It's just like I'm so glad Brooke said what she said, because I think that's what a lot of celebrities are saying. And they have talent, by the way. Megyn talks about things, she doesn't have really anything to bring to the table in terms of life experiences that she's overcome or done. It's just she puts out these stories and makes it like, oh, she's been through some things or she's done some things, and that story even in itself is a lie. She doesn't even tell the truth when telling the story. Okay, so Megyn is somebody that people really like. What Brooke did, look, this is how different we are. Okay, I know Brooke doesn't want to come off mean, but we need to hear that, especially if you're going to be on the same stage as Megyn. Keep it real. Put it in perspective. Hey, look, I'm way different than this woman. This is what my life has been like. Okay, that's what people need to hear. And if you're going to just sit there and just play niceties with Megyn, oh, and that's so nice what you went through. No, we don't want to hear that. We want to hear the raw truth. That's what we want to hear. And thank goodness for Brooke for having the courage to say what she said. And it was funny. And I'm glad she did it, because it's the truth. It's the truth.
I am too. I am very glad that she did it. And I always love getting your analysis, P-Dina. Of course, everyone should subscribe to P-Dina on YouTube, P-D-I-N-A. And I'd also love you to sign up to the Royal Uncancelled After Show on Substack, www.outspoken.live. It means you get the full episodes first, live and on demand every weekday. But the most important thing about Substack actually is its community. Real community, totally free speech orientated, really brilliant way to have direct communication with me. And most importantly, save me from big tech cancellation. Save me from the lawfare that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have tried against me time and again. I'll repeat the address, www.outspoken.live. You just have to enter your email address. It's very, very simple, and I really would appreciate it. P-Dina, thank you so much. We will see you next week. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source, and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.